Hello, welcome back. Today we are working. It will be really cool that you will be able to see what you are done in your application, right? So inside the Android Studio we have something called emulator. Emulator is a device that we can make or create any as much device as we want, depending on the size of the landscape mode, or or sometimes maybe you are working with a wear, then you can create it. Then when you do something, you will be able to see, right? So what we will do, we have to come to this IVD manager and click. That's all you have to do. Okay, then it will take you to the device management, which you will be able to create a device, a virtual device, and use it in your computer, and it will be fast. Okay, so how we can do that? It's easy. All you have to do, come to the create virtual device and create it. And here we have a different thing. For example, we have a TV, which we have two different type of it. We can select and go for it, or we have phone or wear or tablet. It depends of you which size or which type of device or operating system you need to build application for. In our case, we select a phone. So phone, we have so many different phone, and if you come here and click one of these, and you can see the size of it is large, and a ratio is also large, which is, this one is a large phone. Okay, and if you go down like this, and you will be able to see a different type. For example, this one is large, this one is normal, a ratio is large, and as well as all of the different one. Okay, so for example, if we will go with Nexus 1, because this is a normal and ratio is large and density is HDPI. Also the density, it will show you what type of density is there. Okay, so we choose one of these. Let's choose one. Then we will click next. That's all you have to do. You can click the clone device, then this way will show you the device. Then you will go next if you're happy with it, and when you done next, it will ask you to choose the API, because every emulator or every Android device, it need their own API to run with. When you are installing your Android Studio, you face this kind of situation that you need to download the API. Right now, in this moment, the newest API that they have is Pi, which is 28. Okay, so all the new project is working, but if you have 25, level 25 is still okay, because it works with all of the different applications that you going to make. Okay, so whatever you got selected, or if you want to download the newest version, you can just click download it, then you are good to go. Okay, if you come here, you can even see more of this kind of stuff, and you can depending of these, read through it and choose whatever you want. Okay, so we will click this, and system image recommended to be x86. Okay, so it's you can do that, and you can see it here show up, and you will say next. And here you can see most of the stuff. Even you can show the advanced, which is you will be able to change something inside here if you want to change it. Okay, 512 megabyte RAM size is okay. We will not going to put a lot of things inside here. Multi-core CPU is good because it's run fast, and I think the rest of it is great. So all you have to do, click finish. When you click finish, it will go into generate another virtual device for you, and also you can change the name if you want. Okay, but we will not need to change the name because we just need to run this and see the device. At the first time when you are running the emulator, it will take a while until it will start loading, but when it's loaded, you are good to go. And for creating as well, it takes some time because it's big, like they are sometimes is 2 gigabyte. So it takes some time until it will create, but when it's create, you can see it inside your list of the device that you are making. Just be patient and wait for it, and it will show up. Here, this one we have here, it's smaller than the other one that we got. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to do work with this one. There you go. Now you have it. Here, how you delete it, it's really simple as well. All you have to do, this arrow down, click, and you can duplicate it, or you can delete it, or you can view the detail, but you better not do that because it will show you a big list of the details. Instead of doing that, you will just go to the edit mode and see the detail by yourself. This way is better. And so what we will do, we will delete this one. We don't need it. Then it will tell you to confirm delete if you wanted to delete this, and you say yes. That's it. That's how you delete it and how you create it. Now, how you run that, it's this play sign. This just you can simply click it and it will launch the emulator for you. So we click. Then if you see here, it's starting the AVD virtual device. Okay, so we don't need this list anymore because we already created, and all you have to do, just go out. As I told you at the beginning, it take a little bit of time, but when it's done, emulator, it will run on your computer and it will run fast. So whenever you will start with a project, or the first thing in the morning when you do before you open anything else, try to run the emulator. When it's run, then you are good to go. Okay, run the emulator at the beginning, then after that you wait until the emulator will launch, and you can work with this emulator whenever you want. Okay, at the beginning in this tutorial we already talk about how we can manage, or how we can use the multi button in the navigation bar, and we already done that. If you didn't see it, and if you're interested into this, working with this kind of application to have multiple page, so go back to that video and see how it will be done. Okay, so what I will do here, I will go to the home fragment, which is in here. We talk about how we create a fragment, how we show this fragment into our main activity, which we will not go into work with it anymore because we have a fragment, and this fragment, it will hold the data for each button we press. Okay, for example, the home button, it will press and it will show this page. How we can be sure? Let's choose the screen of this guy. Okay, and we will change the background color to, let's see, we will go to the color and we will choose this color primary, which is really ugly, and we will select it. Then we will say OK. Now we should see the color of this change. Okay, now whenever we will push home button, we should see this, and but the rest it will be white. If you see here, the emulator is open. Emulator is really powerful. You can work with it, go through it, and see what's they are offer. You can get the number, you can get the map for free, and everything is here, and it's look like a real device. Okay, when it's run, what we will do, we will run the project that we got, and run, then play. If we look at the build, and we can see if we have an error somewhere, we can see it. Then we can manage this error by fixing it one by one. If you see something you don't understand, search for it, and hopefully it will be clear for you. But in this point, we will not face any error because our application do nothing. It's just have some simple page with clear with nothing. Actually, there is no data inside any one of them, and when it's run, it should show the red one, which is we set into our main activity to be to shown the launch the home fragment when it will launch the application into our emulator. So we are just waiting until it will pop up. When it's done, when it does, then we call this video done, and in the next tutorial we will start working with a fragment and how we can communicate between main activity, which a real activity that we that our fragments are live inside, and how we can get the context from that activity and use that context for our fragment. And whenever the home button pushed, then this fragment will create. Then if we set something change into that fragment, it simply will change that feature. As I told you at the beginning, when you are running a project on your application or on your emulator, it will take some time. But when it run for the very first time, then it will be really quick. But now it takes almost 2 minutes. Wow. That's exciting. For the beginning, for the first time, you will have your application and you will push some button inside your application and do something. For the Mac, it's really easy to connect your okay, I pause the video. For the first time, it take around 4 minutes actually until run the project. But now, if you go from the first one to the second and to the third, it will going to pop up the fragment. But when you go back to the first one, the fragment that we set the this ugly color, it show up. For the next one, we will work with a fragment, how we can show the data when we are